The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Rumors of an alleged destabilization plot in the armed forces of the Philippines circulated online on Saturday. To clarify matters, we have on the line AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar. Colonel Aguilar, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Raisa, and good morning to our listeners.
Colonel, what can you tell us about this alleged destabilization plot in your ranks? Have you already identified where did the speculations come from?
First, I would like to make it clear that there is no destabilization plot. Everything is normal, and we are back to our mission of defeating the threat groups that we confront in this country.
Colonel, but have we identified where did this all come from?
Actually, there is no report we received about the stab plot. We only hear it from the news.
Colonel, there's also an existing resignation call in the PNP for PNP top officers. How do you think this will actually affect the security of our country? And in any case, will the AFP be extending their services on the ground to help with peace and order?
We perform different functions. We are in defense of the country from internal and external threats, while the PNP is into law enforcement. I cannot comment more on the resignation being required or being appealed by the SILG to the PNP leaders.
Colonel, there's also rumors of a mass resignation in the Defense Department. Can you confirm this?
We have no confirmation, and you can ask that from the Department of National Defense. You have Director Popong Andunong there who can answer your question.
Final question, sir. Will there be similar initiatives in the AFP, just like in the PNP, where there's courtesy resignations as part of the internal cleansing of this administration?
We have no idea about that. We are focused on our mission. We would rather exert all our efforts in defeating insurgency, local terrorism, and all the threat groups in our country.
Well, thank you for sharing with us this information. That was AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar. Meanwhile, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos maintains that she has nothing to do with military appointments. In a video message, the First Lady insisted she had no hand in appointments, specifically in the Intelligence Service of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or ISAF. The statement from Mrs. Marcos comes a day after President Bongbong Marcos reappointed General Andres Centino as AFP chief.
I have nothing to do with ISAP. I don't know the people involved. I have nothing to do with appointments. I leave that up to my husband. And if I find out that somebody's using my name, I shall tell my husband not to appoint you.
President Bongbong Marcos has secured 2 fertilizer deals during his state visit to China. Malacanang confirmed that 2 Chinese manufacturing firms signed a cooperation agreement with the Philippine International Trading Corporation to sell fertilizers at reasonable prices. The President and concurrent Agriculture Secretary expressed his appreciation over the deal and promised to sell the fertilizers at a lower price to farmers. The President is also looking at tapping Malaysia, Indonesia, Russia, and UAE for cheaper fertilizers. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The camp of Juanito Remulla III insists that there is nothing irregular with his speedy trial. Speaking to the Chiefs, Remulla III's legal counsel, Attorney Perdito Campanilla, said they only made use of continuous trial, which is a right given to the accused in a drug case. The duration of a continuous trial is only 75 days. Campanilla added that the accused may also waive this right.
Yung continuous trial actually is enshrined under the 2017 Supreme Court guidelines na sinasabi nga for drug cases dapat matapos yan within 75 days. Kung hindi niya ho i-waive yan at hindi ho sundin yan ng judge, magkakaroon ho siya ng administrative sanction. So pinusto ho namin yung continuous trial. But for some other cases, kaya ho tumagal yan dahil hindi nila winave yung kanilang continuous trial right.
Campanilla also shrugged off the pending drug importation case against Remulla III. He said the acquittal on the charge of possession should help dismiss the drug importation charge against the son of the Justice Secretary.
Wala pa akong warrant of arrest na ini-issue sa kanya. And ang legal opinion ko po ay dapat na rin po yung ma-dismiss. Dahil kasi po yung element ng importation, one of the element is possession. So kung wala akong possession, wala akong importation.
The Iranian government has launched a brutal crackdown on protests across the country. However, mass imprisonment and even executions only seem to fuel the people's outrage. The details in this Bloomberg report.
Is Iran on the verge of a revolution? The protests that began in mid-September with the death of Mahsa Amini, a young woman in the custody of the country's morality police, have evolved into something much bigger. The protesters are now taking direct aim at the clerical regime itself. The government's crackdown, including mass imprisonment and execution, have not cowed them. If anything, their voices have grown more strident, and it is the regime that is showing signs of strain. Calls for the death of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei are now routine, as are the destruction of statues and posters of the regime's heroes. Khamenei, who himself played an important part in the 1979 Islamic Revolution, will know the parallels. This may explain some of his vague promises of compromise, like suspending the morality police. But to bring him down, the protesters will need to co-opt some elements of the state itself. The 79 revolution succeeded only when the armed forces mutinied against the Shah. So far, there are no signs of that kind of disgruntlement within the security apparatus. But if we've learned anything from the history of revolutions, including Iran's own, it is that change can come slowly and then all at once.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 10:45 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.